Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on a lovely little island of Fawnhollow today, where I just realised today's a Sunday, there's fireworks shows going on, but I didn't time travel, so we're just going to sort of roll with it anyway. We've seen the fireworks before, we've already got all the new items, we don't need to do anything now. If anything, we can get the dialogue from before when the fireworks show starts in the first place, so you know, that's min-maxing, that's getting 100% right there, 100% Animal Crossing speedrun. It's only taken me about 500 days, which is probably a whole new world record if I'm keeping track, and only me. So anyway, hello there everyone, right now in Fawnhollow, it's 5:45 PM on Sunday, August 8th, 2021. It's another Sunday in August, you know what that means. Another fireworks show will be lighting up our night sky, and just like last time, you'll be able to draw raffle tickets from the stall currently located in the plaza, and I'll be there too, accepting all your best ideas for custom fireworks. I just can't wait to hear them. So nice to get out from behind the desk at Resident Services. I've been looking forward to this all week. Did she say that last time? I don't remember, it was something along those lines. Yes, fireworks show, we won't be going to see it, we'll just be doing I should say our usual Nook Mile mission farming. Presumably we've farmed far more than we actually need to get the last two villages that we actually want, when someone actually moves out. Happy home, how do we get out of here? So dear, were you wearing your clothes backwards the other day, or were you walking backwards? Either way, it was real neat, man. Real neat. Is that new? I don't remember ever seeing that before. Has been times where I have worn my clothes backwards, but often they're t-shirts which look rather similar front to back, and well, I suppose it depends on the cut, but still. Hello dear, this seems starts at 7 PM, custom fireworks. I just kind of want to see if you got anything interesting to say if we talked to you before. Do you have anything to say? You're not open yet? Favourite cuz, how are you dear? Actually, what's that get with chit chat? I'm sure you're much more interested in the attraction I'm setting up here. I feel like we've probably done this before, didn't we? Red's raffle. Alright, well, I mean, it's something, I suppose. No, what should I talk about today? There was something I was going to talk about. What was it, though? It's actually completely slipped my mind. Hopefully it wasn't important. Not that most of the things I actually say particularly aren't important or anything. It's just sort of what's going on, what I've been up to today. Not really much, just sort of vibing, playing some games. What happens if we want to talk to Isabel? You just can't. Fair enough. I thought Tom Nook might take over or something. Interesting. I'm not sure if I've ever tried that before, but there we go. What did I want to talk about? No, I've just been watching random things, watching random YouTube. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. I watch some YouTube videos. As I do, sometimes you get sucked into a sort of rabbit hole, and one of the things that was recommended to me, not like by anyone particularly, I guess by the algorithm, and somehow it appeared, but it led to me just watching a load of them. But it was whose line is it anyway? Classic things, because it actually used to run on a TV channel in UK called Dave back when I was younger, despite I don't think those are the original times it was recorded. Apparently I haven't spoken to Mira for a while. If you don't know what Whose Line is anyway, it's a game show in quotes, but the whole catchphrase of the game show is everything's made up and the points don't matter, meaning that the game show, the points don't matter. I can't really suppose make it any clearer than that, but it's basically just like an improv comedy show where people just do a lot. I was going to say skits, I guess skits isn't the right word. Do a load of improv. Normally Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery and Wayne Brady. Probably some others. Greg Woods. Can I think of anyone more? Chip? I don't know his surname. I don't know. I know it's something I used to watch actually quite a lot when I was younger, but you might say, hey, when you say a bit younger, how much younger? Now I'd be like, I don't know, somewhere probably from the ages of 8 to 13. I'd ballpark. I can't really recall. And you were like, hey, it's not a little bit young to be watching Whose Line Is It anyway? Not because it's particularly inappropriate. I mean, it's still rather family friendly or safe for TV and that sort of thing. But I feel like a lot of references are going to go over your head. And you know what? A lot of references to go over my head. And watching some of the clips now, I actually understand some of them now, or at least understand that this probably is a reference, even if I don't totally get it. I'm 100% sort of category. I don't know why I phrased that so weirdly, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it does go over your head. I mean, that's just kind of what happens if you're trying to watch anything when you're a kid. There's going to be a lot of timely, like, I was going to say contemporary references, but that's perhaps a little bit too grandiose for what I was going for. There's going to be a lot of references, like pop culture references, especially which go over your head when you don't really understand. And even now, I probably don't really understand, not owing to the fact that I don't really pay much attention to pop culture in the first place. But there's still a lot there that you find funny, you know? Kids, like everyone else, kids and adults can find certain things funny, like general humour, good puns, maybe. But more often than not, just like classic humour, subversions of expectations, and that sort of thing. You know, that's definitely why I kept watching it. I always used to love improvisational skills, and it really got me thinking about it. It's because now I'm a bit more, I suppose, I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, I'm a bit more aware about doing improv and that sort of thing, because it's not like this is really improv. Like, well, this isn't like stand-up or anything like that. I mean, I guess it is improv, all these conversations and random things I talk about are not particularly scripted. Not particularly, sounds like they are mildly, not at all scripted, I should say. So I understand the difficult, well, maybe not fully understand, but I can appreciate, I suppose, the difficulty of trying to improvise something comedic just off the cuff like that sort of thing. And it really sort of made me appreciate being like, wow, these people are so amazingly quick-witted. Obviously it's something that you can train up, you do a lot of practice with it, you get like a sharper wit and that sort of thing. I'm sure to some people it comes a bit more naturally than others if they've always been a comedian all their lives. Not really the sort of thing that I do. I'm not much of an entertainer, I don't think. I'm gonna do my best and when I can, here and there, you know, self-depreciating humour, and that's what's in with the Zoomers these days. I say that as kind of Zoomer, I suppose. I don't really know why I land on that sort of time scale, nor does it really matter, I suppose. Yeah, I've never really been much of a comedian, entertainer, and that sort of person. It's never been my forte. I'm considerably more boring, I suppose, than most of my peers, at least back in school. I don't seek out thrills and entertainment as such in that sort of way, and, you know, and I don't pass it on as much. You might be like, oh, you're not spreading good cheer throughout your life. No, I mean, not in that way, I suppose. Not through a comedian stand-up butt of a joke sort of way. No, but I'm particularly just, I'm not like, oh man, my pride and my ego is not that high that I'm like, oh, never make me the butt of a joke. I don't really care about that sort of thing. More like I do much better as a straight man, I suppose, to someone else's funny man in a comedic duo, you know. That sort of person who brings things back to reality, but grounds things, that makes the funny person sound even more funny. With what they say, you know. They say something ridiculous and I just be like, nah, I don't really think you can do that sort of thing. Or you just give a very deadpan response. I'm not particularly snarky, I don't think so. I mean, maybe perhaps in my teenagers it would be a bit more applicable, but certainly not now. The deadpan snark or whatever is not really the sort of vibe I go for through my comedy, so I don't really know what I do. I like to think I try and think of clever jokes every now and then, and then if I don't have a joke, I just don't say anything, I suppose. Play things quite straight, which is, I suppose, ironic, but yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, it's just amazing how quickly we can improv things. Like one of our rounds is called Props, and as you imagine, there's four comedians on the show, and it's hosted by Drew Carey. I don't remember like why I know all these names compared to like other celebrities, much more modern day ones. Good to see you. You got a sweet tooth? Nah. Except apple cider vinegar? That's not particularly sweet. Tasted better than usual. Apple cinnamon toast. That's an actual thing, isn't it? So cinnamon and apples often go together. No, they ran a show called Props where basically two teams of two both given like a set of weird props or whatever, and they just had to come up with like comedic sketches on the spot about them. Not like extremely long ones or anything, just like 5-second things, you know. Like using a prop as something in a scene in a comedic way or that sort of thing. And it amazes me how quickly they can come up with things back and forth. It's just instant. They have like 10 seconds to think of something, or they can just come up with something off a cuff and oh, we need to get another fossil. Yeah, what? You ever think because Al reminds you of Stephen Fry? Just came to mind. Not sure particularly why, but what was I saying? It's amazing how quickly we can be like off the cuff with these sort of things. It's a very impressive skill, which I suppose I didn't really appreciate as much when I was younger. Just, you know, funny man goes ha ha ha, funny man says joke, makes me laugh. Now when I'm older, I'm just like, you know, obviously the standard's a bit different. I'm not a comedian or anything like that, so probably not expected to be so off the cuff with these amazing jokes or anything like that. I suppose the only thing that people expect from me for my videos is to be able to talk endlessly for half an hour, which, you know, I can certainly tick that box, but whether that really holds any sort of regard and public favour, I wouldn't go that far. But it's just amazingly sharp-witted, and of course, it's something that they've probably been honing, and I'm not sure if their entire life, but certainly for a lot of it, where they just, you know, practice doing stand-up, improv, drama, that sort of thing, performing, and like, I don't know how you really get into comedy, presumably you try and do like stand-up gigs and that sort of thing, and then they found maybe they did a bit of theatre, and then we did a bit of improv theatre, and then they sort of like intertwined, and that they've always been like natural born entertainers when they were younger. They like to entertain, and that's just kind of how your career path ends up, and sooner or later you end up on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and being national, international, I don't know, sensations, well known for their comedic timing and all that sort of thing. And I know there's been revivals of Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I don't know if that revival's still going on, hosted by, I was gonna say Alicia Keys, that's definitely not right. Her name's Alicia something, isn't it? Hold on, let's see. I don't even know. I kind of want to see when the original Whose Line Is It Anyway even came out. Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's not how you spell it anyway. Wiki. Whose Line Is It Anyway? Started airing 1988 to 1999. From 1988 to 2007. Wait, that was a British and American one? Who's on the American one? Drew Carey, Aisha Tyler. Oh, wait. That's the one that was revived. Wait, what? Oh, the original one? The OG one was not... Wait, who's on it? Oh, I guess it just came back and it came back again? From 2013 to present, it's still going on. That's astonishing. Oh, I suppose the original one did run for about 9 years. This one's been running for 8? So, perhaps it's on its last legs. I don't know. I haven't seen, like, any of them, the more modern ones. Presumably, Ryan and Colin still got their comedic shtick going on, their comedic quips and wits about them. I don't know how old they are now, but it must be, like... Let me guess. Late 60s. Maybe 70s. Never mind, Colin Mockery, early 63. Ryan Starr, 62. I apologise if they're somehow watching this. Never been particularly good with guessing ages. As well, you use as my excuse. But yeah, I sure say a lot, don't I? There's a thing I remember seeing people say ages ago is instead of saying you should just pause, and it makes you sound a bit more learned rather than, stupid. Well, I think stupid's a bit of a misnomer, a bit of a misleading thing to say, but it's that sort of idea, If I just pause instead of saying doesn't it sound a little bit better, or does it sound a bit more awkward, What do you think will look good on the soon-to-be superstar? Something cool, why not? That's a pretty cool idea, going with a cool look today. What would look the coolest? Maybe a nice sun hat? You have the best ideas for Boo. I like cool looks. I like cute looks. I didn't know what the other option was because I didn't properly pay attention. But yeah, it's been going on for a while now, and they've probably honed their craft over many sort of years, and you might be like, how do you hone the improv craft? And the answer is, I don't really know, because I'm not in that sort of industry. But presumably we just practice being, like, bouncing off ideas, coming up with ideas. Like, I'm sure they brainstorm things all the time while they're just thinking, be like, oh, that would make a good, funny thing, or maybe if I do that, it would be quite amusing, something along those lines. And then just being able to bring them up from the recesses of your mind. Apparently, Radish, you want playing some Pokemon Unite. I'll just let it go. Let it go. If you bring them up from the recesses of your mind, you can actually, I suppose, put them a little bit to use, if anything. I want to catch one more insect. We can get rid of this mosquito, it's not worth all that much. And then let's catch one insect and we'll go sell them. I bought it on Are you just looking at a stick, Lily? Oh, you were just wanting to sit down. Okay, fair enough. Oh, you said It's just incredibly impressive how quickly they can come up with things. Obviously, I'd imagine if it's your job and it's sort of your passion's the sort of thing you've been doing for all your life, and you'd put a bit more passion into it. I'm sure other people who might look at me playing games or might look at me drawing will be like, oh wow, how do you manage to do that? And I'm not even that great a drawer or even that amazing at video games or anything like that. They've probably got that sort of thing. These people certainly have mastered the act of comedy, which is difficult. Like, how do you practice being funny? I'd imagine, actually, now I think about it, is not so much you practice being funny, but perhaps a lot of it's the content you consume, in like looking up to people who have been. Actually, we should save these fossils in case we got the make money one. Who've been like comedic in the past and learning from them, and being able to break down exactly what makes them funny, and like understanding maybe even the science behind the joke, although that probably a lot of people probably do it more intuitively and naturally from that sort of thing, but that's perhaps was my sort of rigorous way of looking at it. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you can consume a lot of content. What? Oh, it's 6 PM. That's why I was like, what on earth's going on? I was losing my mind. I suppose it's being able to practice improv in the first place and coming up with ideas is the important part, right? And then from there you can lead into making the stuff you come up with be funny as well, but I don't really know. And probably I'm not the best person to ask, and that's kind of fair because it's not really sort of my purview, nothing I've really been paying attention to, but you know, if all things come to worse, you can just record yourself talking for about half an hour every single day in a little game called Animal Crossing, and well, I can't promise you'll be particularly funny by the end of it, but you can certainly talk for quite a while. Talk someone's ear off about nothing. Seabass is 200 Nook miles for the mission? Really? That's such a common fish, though. You would have thought it'd be a bit, you know, less expensive, but what do I know? It's not like it's not like I'm gonna complain, is what I want to say, but apparently I can't even speak very well, so this is more like a quantity of a quality thing over all this practice. But yeah, anyway, if you haven't seen No Whose Line Is It Anyway, you should definitely watch it. It's very funny. I mean, maybe you'll watch it and you'll be like, this isn't funny, but to me it's very funny. Some of my favourite things they do, greatest hits. That's when normally it's like Wayne Brady. Oh, Brad, that's someone else who's on it, right? Ryan and Colin hosting some sort of like infomercial about some great CD that's coming out with like top 50 hits or something over the past decade, which used to be a much more common sort of commercial that you used to see, I was gonna say on the internet, but that's not right, on TV channels, but that's very much a remnant of the past now. I don't think I've seen one for many years. And then this is like even more so impressive because Wayne does a lot of the singing and those sort of things where basically Colin and Ryan will set up something, be like, oh, they'll take like a theme from the audience, like one of them was like accounting or something, and then Colin and Ryan will basically just make up some themes, like, oh, you remember that hit? Oh no, the Bust Up was one of them. It was like, oh, that old Michael Jackson hit, You're Not On My Route or Route or something. And then, really, you know, and also credit to the band who plays as well. I think it was a pianist back when I used to watch, like, Lauren, I think her name was, I can't remember. Just, like, improvise up a song. And not only is he improvising up a song, like a melody and all that sort of thing, he's improvising up in a comedic way, and in such a short span, it just, like, immediately starts. Think how amazing it would be to have those sort of improvisational chops, you know, just be able to make up songs on go. I mean, like, I do make up songs on go and that sort of thing, but they're not good songs, and they're not funny songs. They're songs just for me. You know, it's the equivalent of like twiddling your thumbs and that sort of thing. It's just amazing. I love to have that sort of like musical improvisational skills, but that is something you can practice, and probably something I could practice. I do have a bit of a musical history. I've definitely talked about this before. But people just being able to like bust out some sort of melody on the piano or violin or that sort of thing, and just make up a song like that. Because writing songs sounds really fun in my mind. Obviously a lot of effort. I've done a bit of it here and there before, but those are both amusingly under deadlines because they're for people's birthdays. So that was a bit more stressful, but you know, doing it recreationally sounds like a lot of fun. So watch your space, you know, if I ever make up another channel, just making songs and that sort of thing. I mean, I have been listening to a lot of Vocaloid songs recently, so you know, sparking inspiration or something. Well, not so much innovation, I suppose more motivation, but I don't really know. Sorry, getting a bit of a hoarse throat. Got to stay hydrated to keep conversational juices flowing. You knew they were supplied by water, but you know, I suppose most liquids are kind of water in the first place. That's not true at all, by the way. Don't quote me on that. Don't go up to a chemistry teacher and be like, oh, do you know all liquids are water? Because one, that means you quoted me wrong and clearly you didn't listen to me, so I hope you listened to your chemistry teacher at least. But I don't know why I'm being so disparaging to you, I'm sorry. Some invented strawman in my head who's apparently some very rude classmate, and I'm just like, the teacher? I don't know what's going on. It's getting very strange. But yeah, I like the greatest hits. I like when they do, what's it called? It's like called narration or something, where they basically just bust out into like these noir-like monologues, which amusingly, I've had my go at writing a noir-like monologue, because it was Benedict's birthday, we made as a birthday like video to him some sort of like a noir detective kind of thing, and had a go at like writing some of that sort of music and writing a bit of a monologue based around that sort of thing. I don't think this was well before I played Chicken Police, which has educated me a lot in that sort of manner, but it was a lot of fun. And I'm not gonna, I'm not. Okay, maybe I'm better than an average person, because perhaps an average person's never tried before, but I'm not, definitely not good enough to make a writer's table at, The Simpsons or something. I don't know why I chose The Simpsons. Just because, a lot of good old comedic writers came from Simpsons until we had like a writer's strike or something, and then now The Simpsons kind of sucks or something, and I don't know. I never really watched Simpsons, don't really watch it now. How did I miss that by so much? Where was I going with this? Did I have a point? I don't know if I had a point. I feel like I had a point, but I don't know what it was leading to. Also, what am I doing? I'm trying to catch a sea bass. I didn't even check the hot item. Change your clothes. Just catch fish. Okay, we'll just catch 5 fish. We'll check the hot item, and then we'll see from there what we'll do. Oh yeah, narration, that was it. They bust up with like these noir like ones. I remember one I used to really love watching when I was on TV. It was like sound effects. We got like 2 members from the audience, and they had to make sound effects for like Ryan and Colin who do the things. If I was younger, I probably would have hated that sort of thing, because I'd hate tension on me and that sort of thing, like performing and trying to be funny. Now I would do it. I don't think I'd be very funny, but it's not my job to be funny. It's kind of the comedian's job to be funny. I just sort of supply them with stuff, and I'm sure they'd be able to come up with things. Because, if you're not funny, you try and force a humour, and I'm certain you probably ruin most of the situation. Oh, hello, ocean sunfish. I forgot how large they were. I'm sure you'd feel very forced and that sort of thing. You might just do what happens naturally, and, let the comedians come up with what they come up with. And I have this distinct memory of this one episode of these, like, 2 old ladies who were invited to be the people to make sound effects or the skit, except for they didn't really understand what was going on. They're clearly like people's grandmas who just like not tagged along, but they were like brought to the show as well, just to have a bit of a laugh, and they weren't really prepared to do anything involved like that. So they basically had no idea what was going on. They kept making very like out of place noises and that sort of thing. Like one of the ladies just kept going like ooh, 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 making like ghost noises. And then every time like Colin Ryan would try and make like obvious prompts for like sound effects, and be like, okay, I'm going to stand by the car door really loudly right now. So presumably the people on the show will, if that's a hint, they will go like or something like that. I don't know. I can't make sound effects. Not particularly a Foley artist, let alone one who only makes it with their voice. And we just like riff off that sort of thing, except for they just like never got the prompts and just kept doing whatever they were doing. And in my mind, it's one of perhaps the most funniest videos I've ever seen. I don't know if it's as funny, and certainly I'm going to watch it again after I finish recording this to see if it really holds up to my old standards, or either that perhaps just younger me had very bad standards when it came to comedy. But to be fair, comedy's all subjective in the first place anyway, so it doesn't really. I don't think you can really have a bad comedic, taste. I mean, certainly you can have things which are in poor taste, I suppose, but not like I suppose what you find funny is what you find funny. Well, I mean, I guess if it's offensive, then that kind of crosses some weird boundaries, and I guess I'm less comfortable with that sort of thing. But if you're within trusted company, I suppose. I don't know. Not really my place to say. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just spouting nonsense, as I usually do. But it's quite hard to get through half an hour just improvising, talking about anything without spouting utter nonsense at every single opportunity. Just do my best to sort of cover my tracks, being like, don't take whatever I say as fact. Have your own opinions. Don't listen to me. I'm just a random voice in the background, hopefully while you're doing something potentially more important. Or not, I don't know. You live your life. I immediately forgot what requirement missions we had. Crafting, that was it. I didn't look at what the hot item was. Yeah, what other sort of rounds do we have here? I've seen from a hat. I think that's quite a classic one. Like, you've probably seen the internet. I think terrarium is probably the easiest of those. You've probably seen that, internet. I was going to say meme. It's not really a meme. That's the first time we've ever had a wooden table. Are you serious? We never got the wooden table recipe in like 1.5 years. Honestly, astonishing. I can only be impressed, I suppose, by it. yeah, seen some hat and we get like prompts for things they have to say. And one of them, of course, that you always know. Drukari pulls one out. He goes, things that will always, things to say that would always start a fight. And then Ryan just goes into the center, says a thing. Hey, want to start a fight? Classic, absolute classic. My delivery is obviously not nearly on par with, well, anyone on my show, so I don't really do it justice and probably ruined it for you if you've ever seen it, but you've probably seen the image. It's been circulating for a while now. Maybe it was do its own circulations again and you'll catch it that way. Just like, so it was a complete random tangent. Maybe I'll talk about this tomorrow. Just like that Twilight Sparkle and, what's that guy from Regular Show called? Hold on. Bluebird Regular Show. Is he just called regular? No, not what? Crossover wiki. What's his name? Mordecai. Twilight X Mordecai fan art. Can we pretend we're airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Can you really use a wish right now? Wish right now. Wish right. Apparently that popped off on TikTok, which is absolutely wild to see because I remember seeing that when it first popped off back in. I don't even remember when it first popped off. But apparently it's popping off again, so there we go. It's funny how memes just do that. They just randomly have resurgences and all these sort of things, and that's a favourite month for, I don't know, this month? Maybe? I don't know. You might not have even heard of it. I suppose it's something just seen a bit more in like the Twitter artist circles, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, that's got absolutely nothing to do with whose line is it anyway. Or at least if it's got a link, it's tenuous at best. Okay, so change clothes, water plants. And probably we'll just sort of round off this episode here. We don't really have much else to be doing. But yeah, anyway, whose line is it anyway? Fantastic series. But there have many other really good skits. I still got the thing open, so it probably says on here like what the sort of rounds they got. Main performers: Colin Mockery, Wayne Brady, Drew Carey, Aisha Tyler. She's a host now. Laura Hall, that was a musician. I mean, she retired at some point, presumably. Or what's she doing now? I don't know. She's got her own Wikipedia page. Let's see. Is she still doing it? America. Joined by Linda Taylor. Performed through 13. So I guess she's still on it. That's crazy. She's still going. Let's see. Series overview. That's not what I want. I want to see. Do they have like a list of the shows that we do? Not the shows, like the rounds they do. See if it's the British one. I don't know. Legacy. That's not what I meant. Whose line is it anyway? Rounds. I don't know how else to describe it. C4 panel show. Not really what I was going for. Game shows wiki. This is a thing. The games. Here we go. Musical games. All in one voice. Remember that one? That's okay. Musical. Don't remember that one. Oh. What's the one where it's like party guests or something? Party foul. Well, 3 people just get like very weird people who are coming to a party and the other person basically has to figure it out. Greatest hits, that's a great one. Hoedown, that's also a good one. Scene to rap, I don't remember this one. Some of these are probably just like one-off ones that we rarely do. Advertisement scene, the music wrong theme. 90-second alphabet. Backward scene. That sounds very confusing. They're doing it, sorry. It's not one of these episodes where I just read stuff on a Wikipedia page. If you know what I mean. No. Don't remember. Props, that's a good one. Seen some hat, always a good one. Guessing game? Oh, guessing game, that's another good one. Sorry, no, let's make a date. Guessing games. But, well, let's not sell all those weeds, those are kind of what we need. You got what I need. So about that little pause. Watch yourself and stuff, and I don't know. You can go look it up yourself. Very entertaining, and we'll round this episode up here. Why don't we? Well, I will go and probably do some thumbnail art drawing actually. You know, because Little Nightmares almost over. the thing following that, it's a long-awaited Talos Principle, which has been probably the most requested game for me to play ever since The Witness. So finally getting around to it, and I'm actually drawing a thumbnail art for it. Got some ideas for it. It's actually very simple compared to a lot of previous ones, so I'm actually quite happy about that. The background is just literally a black thing, and you know, I don't know if I want to draw it as the entire character, or because in the actual like banner for the game, you don't even see the character's head, so it would just be me drawing a robot and a cat, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should get my head in there at least a little bit. Well, not my head, Deer's head. We should really give a name to Deer. Maybe I'll just call it like D or something, you know, because that's close to Deer, but it's actually a name. You know, Deer's not a name. I don't know. And that's neither here nor there. Nor does it really matter. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Deer Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Deer Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now. Where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Should have said that. Oh well.